woke up Thursday morning and I don't know what it was. I went to go to the bathroom and something said just turn on the light before you go. I turned on the light, I went to the bathroom, and I had some bleeding. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me again. If you are new here, then my name is Mariah and I am now officially pregnant, so we'll go ahead and start with the bump dates. Now, I know a lot of you have been waiting for these for quite some time. You have been like spamming my DMs and asking across multiple videos for updates, but guys, like, I am very much so listening to my body and whatever my body needs, and what my body has needed for like these last few weeks has been just straight up rest. Also, a lot of you said that you would prefer that I do bump dates every single week instead of every 2 weeks. So this one's going to be for weeks 4 and 5, but in the future I will try to go ahead and do them every week so long as my body and my symptoms allow me to. And the last thing I'm going to say before I start is I know a lot of you are also asking too what I did differently this particular cycle to land us our BFP, and I did a number of things differently. So I'm going to sit down and record a separate and very detailed video for you guys just to basically go over every single thing I did to have a successful cycle. But let's begin with our bump date. So over these last 2 weeks, my symptoms have pretty much gone from 0 to 100. Week 4 was pretty chill. There wasn't really anything going on aside from general like tiredness, which is why I didn't feel the need to do a separate bump date for it. I did have some soreness in my nipples and some general fatigue, but it wasn't until like the very last 2 days of week 4 that like all of these symptoms started hitting me. So aside from sensitive nipples and general fatigue, I had some heartburn going on. I had like one wave of nausea that literally lasted probably only a half an hour. I did have a lot of heavy uterus pains, like I feel like all of that week on and off, it was feeling like my period was gonna come. And I had a lot of foot cramps and back cramps as well, mainly when I was sleeping. As I'm sure you guys can see on my face, I've started to get some of that acne back. That has definitely been a consistent pregnancy symptom of mine. I don't usually have breakouts like all over my face, but it seems like once those hormones kick in, they usually start right back up, both on my forehead mainly and the sides of my face along with my back. Aside from that, I had some gas, I took a lot of naps, and one or two nights in particular, I started having nightmares. Now, normally I would say I was having vivid dreams, but these in particular were nightmares, and I'm not a person who usually has nightmares. I either don't dream about anything, or I might have a dream that I can very vaguely remember, but these were very vivid nightmares. And basically what they were about is me waking up to go to the bathroom and I was bleeding, and that was typically the general theme of it, which is very much related to my previous miscarriages. I think in a lot of ways early pregnancy can be a very triggering time if you've dealt with miscarriages, because you're going through the timeline that led up to your past trauma. Even though it's a totally different pregnancy, you're still going through those general emotions and anxieties, and all of that stuff is kind of compiled in your mind. So even for me being very positive and having a good attitude about it, it doesn't change how my brain is wired to process or necessarily deal with past trauma. And that was pretty much it for week 4. Like I said, it was like nothing special. It was just like in the last 2 days of the week, all of my symptoms pretty much seemed to hit me at one time. Now for week 5, things got very interesting. Like the moment I hit week 5, I was taking a lot more naps. The fatigue has definitely picked up like exponentially. Like I'm always tired, I'm always feeling sleepy, I wake up feeling very groggy, almost as if I was taking melatonin. Like that's how I wake up feeling, and I kind of have that hangover kind of feeling when I wake up too. So a lot of fatigue going on, and I just generally feel exhausted. Like that's the only way I can really describe it. The nausea has also definitely picked up a bit. It's not every single day, but it's definitely a lot more frequently than it was back in week 4. Also, in the very middle of the week, I had some diarrhea, which is very abnormal for me. I know it's TMI, but I'm usually pretty constipated. So having diarrhea for me is very much outside of my norm and outside of what I'm used to. So on Wednesday, which was 5 weeks and 3 days. Yeah, 5 weeks and 3 days. I had an onset of diarrhea that evening, and then I woke up Thursday morning and I don't know what it was. I went to go to the bathroom and something said, just turn on the light before you go. I turned on the light. I went to the bathroom and I had some bleeding. It was about, at least I would say, about 8 ounces of blood. And it was also bright red blood. It wasn't pink. It wasn't brown. It wasn't old blood. This was fresh, brand new blood. So at this point, of course, I'm like in my mind, like, great. This may very well have already ended before it can even start to begin. So of course, like, while I was calm about it, I just kind of told Jeremy, like, hey, I need you to take me to the hospital so we can go see what's up. I went ahead and got dressed and everything. In the back of my mind, I was just like praying and saying, like, basically, please don't let this necessarily be the end. Let it be one of those minor cases of bleeding for whatever reason. So we went to the hospital. It was definitely a very, very quiet car ride. Jeremy and I really weren't saying much about anything because we kind of figured that things could go generally either way. Got to the hospital, they put a line in me, took some blood work, told me that I would get the results in, an hour or so, and that they would call in the ultrasound technician so that I can get a scan done. So you guys already know it was not in my plan to get a scan done that early. I had mentioned it in my previous video that I wanted to just go ahead and wait before getting a scan done, but due to the fact that I did have bleeding that morning, I was just like, whatever, let's just go ahead and do everything while we're here. So they went ahead and did a scan, and I'll go ahead and insert a picture that I got. I didn't get footage this time because I was really just emotionally not in the mood to film at all that day. I didn't know what kind of day it was going to be or what kind of outcome it was going to be, so the last thing on my mind was picking up and recording. However, I did get a snapshot of our ultrasound, so I'll go ahead and insert that now. Pretty much immediately when my technician went in with the wand, we right away saw that there was a gestational sac there, and it took him a little bit longer to see what was inside, but we did definitely have a yolk sac, and he was able to measure. Now when I went in, I was based off of when I ovulated, I was 5 weeks and 4 days, but he had me measuring a day ahead, or 5 weeks and 5 days. So if you were to go off my last menstrual period, I would have been at that time 5 weeks and 3 days, but he had me measuring at 5 weeks and 5 days. So a day or two ahead, which was great news. Of course, we didn't have a heartbeat or anything like that yet, but it was great news to see that so far everything looked fine, at least as far as that was concerned. What he also did find when he did the ultrasound is another cyst. He said I have another large cyst. It was the same technician that did all of my scans for my last pregnancy, and he let me know that I do have a large cyst on my right ovary this time. Last time I had a 7.5 centimeter cyst on my left ovary, which eventually ruptured and kind of was the onset of my miscarriage. And this time he went ahead and let me know that the one on my right ovary is at 6 centimeters, so still fairly large, but he's like, this one might not do the same thing as the last one, so for now don't really worry about it. We'll basically just kind of keep an eye on things and see how they progress. He was trying to be very reassuring and saying that, this could pretty much go either way. It could develop like the one did last time, or it can be completely fine this time, but don't worry about it. And I totally understand him trying to be reassuring, and I understand everyone else trying to be reassuring. It just definitely I don't want to say caused flashbacks the last time, but it definitely reminded me of how similar a position we seemed to be in last time. But I kind of just took it as like, I'm not going to think about it if it's not bothering me physically wise, as far as like any type of pain or anything like that. I'm just not going to worry about it, and that's kind of what I've been doing, is not thinking about it and not worrying about it. We did get my quant numbers back, and they were between between 24,000 and 29,000. So those were increasing perfectly fine as they should have been. I did go ahead and call down to the RE clinic to let them know everything that had happened, and they basically said, thanks for letting us know, just take it easy, definitely keep your appointment for next week, and if anything changes, just keep us updated. But they were just like, we're glad everything is good, we'll take a look at your numbers, we'll go ahead and make notes of this within your chart, and basically we'll see you next week. Sorry, I have some really bad like heartburn right now, and some also like indigestion where I keep on burping, which to me feels totally gross, but it is what it is. But aside from that, that's pretty much all that has been going on. I know I say it like that's it. I think with the hospital visit, it did kind of throw me off mentally and emotionally. I was kind of in somewhat of a numb but good place, and that whole situation kind of, I don't know, it just kind of threw me for a loop. And I won't say that I started having doubts, but it just, I don't know, it just did something internally to me where I was just not feeling good emotionally. Definitely was very fearful of moving or doing the wrong thing. But I also feel like as the days kind of go on and continue, I am getting better and a little bit more relaxed and just trying to really take it one day at a time and not really think too far ahead about much of anything right now. I've said to a lot of you that this waiting to get this appointment has been like the longest 2 weeks ever, and we still got a week to go. So I'm definitely looking forward to that appointment now. We might even be measuring a little bit farther ahead than I thought this go around. And overall, I am in okay spirits. I won't say that I'm in great spirits, but I'm definitely in okay spirits. I completely almost forgot that you guys probably want a belly shot, even though to me I look the same as I did about 3 weeks ago, but I'll go ahead and insert that right now. To me, more than anything, most of this is just general bloating. I haven't really gained any weight or anything like that, so yeah, most of this is just bloating and flab that was already there before. So yeah guys, that's all of what I've been feeling during weeks 4 and 5. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here because I am starting to not feel the greatest. I still need to go ahead and eat dinner, and I will probably be soon after laying down. You already know the drill. If you like this video, go ahead and give us a huge thumbs up, subscribe to join our tribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Ladies, per usual, I'm sending you sticky baby dust. Congrats to all the new mamas who have been getting their recent BFPs. A huge thank you to everyone for all of your prayers and congratulations and forms of encouragement. I really, really appreciate you all. Sorry I haven't been able to get back to a lot of you, but this pregnancy is definitely already kind of taking it out of me as far as the fatigue and exhaustion is concerned. So all I ask is that you guys just kind of bear with me. I'm just kind of rolling with what my body decides to do on a daily basis. It was very difficult to get the energy together to even record today because, like I said, guys, I have literally been on zero as far as energy is concerned. But I am looking forward to doing more updates with you guys, and I will be keeping you in the loop as much as possible. So with that being said, I hope you all are having an amazing and wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.